Welcome to this elevation class. It's called Expanding from Centration. So we're going to be finding expansion for the body, all the sides of the body, front side, back side, sidelines of the body. We're going to be doing it from centration. Well, centration typically refers to your joint being centered in its position so that it can optimally move in all the directions we want it to move and get the length to all the muscles that they're capable of getting. But I also want you to think of centration as being centered in your core today, getting centrated, putting that concentration into the center and pulling into the center. We'll get started like that on our backs. If you have a block, you'll find it helpful, but don't worry if you don't have a block, it's not required for this move. The block is just nice to be able to take on some setting. Most of the time, it's medium or narrow for people in between the legs. Find one that's comfortable and then squeeze your legs into that block. Then from here, just getting situated, you want the sacrum on the ground, the scapula, back of the skull. So the neck is long here, and you can bring your arms down by your side. Then we'll push into the feet and squeeze the block and squeeze your butt cheeks. Like really, squeeze around your butt. Get at the lower portion where your legs plug into your cheeks, going for yourself. A little slap and pat. And we'll take our hands up to the ceiling. So in our little ramp pose here, we just want to look like a ramp. We're ramping up our energy. We're getting longer in the front lines and a little more stable in the back. Pull back on your right fingers and stretch out the right wrist. Start to lift and lower your pelvis by pushing into your feet. And really just think about your hips getting a little bit more expansive in the front. So you're rooting your tailbone towards your heels. You're getting space in the front of the hips. And that doesn't happen from going up high with your hips. It actually happens from your glutes engaging and getting more openness to that little front flexed position of the hip. Take it to the other hand with the wrist stretch. So let's get that other wrist to stretch. And again, we're just letting ourselves gently pull back on these four fingers, expanding into the wrist, getting at that opposite position of what it's normally getting during the week. We can release the left wrist. Circle your wrists a few times before you bring them down by your side and just let them mobilize. It's totally fine if they're a little noisy. We want them to have that good synovial hydration. That's that fluid between the joints that just helps them glide around each other. And then we'll hold our low ramp pose. So if you've been pulsing, good job. You should be feeling a lot of good fire for the glutes, but then come down one vertebrae at a time. So one part of your back at a time comes down till you hit the ground. Now we'll remove the block. If you were using it, take your legs up to the ceiling. It's just going to be a quick one, but an efficient one. Hands behind the head. So your legs don't have to be straight, but I do want you to feel like an electrical current is running through your feet. So whether like your toes are reaching or your heels are reaching, honestly, whichever one makes you feel more comfortable, I just want you to go with that one so that you feel the energy running through your legs. That's what it's going to more be about here today. We're going to bring those hands behind the head, interlace the fingers. So the legs are up, but the knees do not have to be straight. Exhale and lift. Right leg lowers, just like about 70 degrees or so. So it's not a whole lot. And then we're going to cross the right leg under the left leg. Oh yeah, you might have already figured out what we're doing here. Squeeze the legs together, scoop your tailbone, and just squeeze them, scoop it, twist to the left. So a little scoop, it's going to pull you in deeper. The great thing about these ones, we don't have to do a lot of them. Bring that right leg back next to left, inhale and lower. So gather it up at the inhale, exhale, left leg lowers. Just about 70 degrees or so, you cross your left leg under your right leg, squeeze your thighs together. That should pull your belly down more, and then root your tailbone by scooping it. Take a little twist to the right, and you don't want to fall off your right shoulder blade. You want to stay off of it. Come back and lower. Exhale and lift. There's a little bit more. Right leg lowers. Cross it under the left. Squeeze them together. Scoop your tailbone. Twist the left. Reach your right arm past your left leg, come up higher off that left shoulder blade. Really lift it. Unwind, uncross, right hand comes back. Inhale, lower. Exhale and lift. Take that left leg down. Cross your right thigh under your left thigh under your right, my bad. Twist to the right. Reach that left arm past your right leg. So left leg's under that right leg. You're scooping, reaching that left arm past. Left leg comes up. Left hand comes back. Inhale, lower. Last one. Exhale and lift. Right leg lowers. Hold into that core, cross it, scoop the tailbone, twist to the left, reach that right arm, and then reach that left arm. Try and get the fingertips together. You gotta really come off that shoulder blade to make it happen. Wow. Bring that right leg back, hands come back, inhale, exhale and lift. So we're activating the core. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is just awakening. Bring that left leg underneath, scoop it, twist it to the right, reach that left arm, reach that right arm. Then you got to kind of like scoot your left arm to meet your right fingertips. Oh, so much oblique action. Come back through, and lower. So we'll bring the knees in, close to the torso. That's a good one. We're gonna drop them off to the right. Bring your right hand out in front of your chest. Your left hand just comes on top. You can release the right ear to the right shoulder. And then like a clock, stroke your left arm up, back, down, and around. And just do that a few times here. And you can let the elbow bend. You can lift your left arm off the ground. Do whatever feels good for you. Come back through center. Keep your knees in really close to the torso. I'm just moving to get myself away from my wall here. Bring your knees over to the left. Your right arm will rest on top of that left. Circle it. A little backstroke. Let's get a few more. Just like that. And again, let the elbow bend, whatever you got to do. Just allow that circumduction to take place and bring that right hand on top. We'll come all the way on the hands and knees. So you'll make your way up. And of course, if we're ever doing shoulder circles, and if it doesn't feel good, you just skip it. A lot of the moves, that we're doing in this practice period can always be skipped, can be modified. Please reach out to me. Let me know. This is what I'm here for. I want to help you be able to get that movement done. Sometimes someone needs a modification that isn't like something I would recommend to the whole class at all, but it might just be what works for that person's body. So never be afraid to reach out. You might have something, you're one of a kind. You might have something that's one of a kind. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees, either under your hips, or honestly, often for people, I find it's even better to bring them a little closer to your hands than underneath your knees, like just a little bit closer. So from here, you're nice and firm. You're like a little square in your quadruped. You should start calling this like brick pose or something like that. Hands are on the ground. You're firm like a brick. And you just want to sit those shoulder blades on the back ribs here. We've been doing this all week and we'll continue to do it. Squeeze your shoulder blades together without letting your core go. So you did all that good core work. Still keep a little lift of your belly up and into your low back, but allow your shoulder blades to come together. And it's as if they're gonna like kiss here. So they're squeezing together. It's this big retraction. Remember, we haven't let it go into our low back. We're still holding our low back long. Now pushing the hands, sit your shoulder blades on your back ribs. It helps to feel that little like dialing out sensation of the left hand, that slight dialing out sensation of the right hand. Remember, they don't really move, but it's as if they would go spinning outward. And now pushing your hands so much that you get to spread your shoulder blades. You can even let your neck go a little bit with that. Then you'll bring your shoulder blades back onto your back ribs. So remember, this is closer to neutral. Even if neutral is still kind of mysterious for us, we know it's not where we just were, and we know it's not where we're going to. So here's where we're going to. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Make them almost like kiss in the middle towards your spine. And then you press, bring them back onto the back ribs. They haven't protracted yet. This is neutral, or at least we think. And then we'll push and spread. But you sure as heck know it's not protraction. And you sure as heck know as you come back to neutral, this might still be kind of mysterious, but you sure as heck know it's not. Come down, bring the shoulder blades together, this, retraction. And then you push back, neutral, I'm a little more familiar with it. And then push and you spread. No, it doesn't have to be perfect. Tuck your toes from that spread, lift into down dog. Keep pushing into your hands and keep lifting your shoulders up to your ears. Let yourself get really long in your back by lifting the back of your pelvis. So your tailbone, think, up towards the ceiling and pushing your hands, letting your shoulders shrug, straightening your elbows, not collapsing your chest, but straightening out. Really nice. And then we'll come back down onto our knees. We'll set up for dolphin pose. Dolphin pose, it's helpful to have the forearms down. It's helpful to put a block in between the hands. So you kind of, most of the time, I mean, everyone's shoulders is a different setting. I find for most people, the widest setting is what is nice with that. And you can always tie your hands together. So if you find the widest setting is too wide, I'd recommend tying your hands together, working on building that up. If you are large in your shoulders, like anatomically, my shoulders are bigger than other parts of my body. It's tight up there. So I do like to tie my hands together. It's just what works for me most days. I'll try the block out today though, since I have been working a little more, thoracic opening. Now from here, it's just like quad, only forearms are on the ground. So knees are still down. This time, just gonna have you release your neck and go right into that protraction. So spread your shoulder blades, really push down into your forearms. This is like one thing about your down dog or your dolphin that's never going to change. You're always going to be pushing down into these forearms just like this, feeling this strong, strong, strong lift. And also let that translate into the core where the middle is pulling you up into the low back. And with the toes tucked, hoist your pelvis up and take a few breaths. Really push down your forearms. Breathe. Spread your toes and push into your ankles, lift your heels and lower them. And just do that a few times. Try to really hold steady in that glenohumeral joint. Try not to let the knees be bending and stuff, but really hold your chest accountable and keep it in place. Relax your neck, relax your neck. Hold into the core, last 3, 2, keep pushing down to your forearms. 1, ho, knees come down. Hit a child's pose and keep pushing into your arms. So if you can, keep your palms facing in towards each other and keep just a little press of your pinkies down into the floor. You're gonna rise on up, come to a wall. We'll get our down dog on the wall as we usually do in our elevation classes. So of course, you'll come to a couch, a chair, or the wall. You'll measure your feet out against that wall. Excuse me. Bring the hands by your side and then flip it around. So the legs just serve as this measurement for when you walk them up, they're going to be just about straight. So you want that straight measurement so you'll know where your hips will be sitting over top of your shoulders. Now from here, we come to down dog. You get your heels against the wall, just like before. Arms are straight. Push, spread those shoulder blades, tack them onto the back ribs, lift your belly up and into your low back line, and then walk your hands up. And breathe with it. Let the press of the hands down into the floor, the press of the feet into the wall, create this full body expansion. Like it's a lot of strengthening, so this is challenging, but we're also lengthening our whole posterior chain. One more. That was just for myself. You can definitely stay there longer. Looking awesome. Hold those low ribs in. Keep that neck relaxed. Push into your hands. Elbows are straight. Let the shoulders spread. Push those shoulders up to the ears just to practice that elevation. It's not that we necessarily would want to always be pushing up, but even in our down dog, that's nice to get a little extra like push up and shrug of the shoulders and down dog on the wall because it strengthens your trapezius, especially upper trapezius muscles. Gets a little more into serratus. We're just talking about underactive muscles that when activated will help to hold the joint in position, because it's not that these muscles are active pulling the joint forward. It's just physics. It's joint position. The joint's resting there, and gravity and bad habit is setting it and pushing it and all that soft stuff. So when we get more of this stuff awakened, it gets supported from underneath, from the top. And that's why it's good to just throw that in every now and then. Grab a little sip of your liquid and we'll get to the top of the mat. Now that we've got our finer points of our down dog on the wall figured out, come to the top of the mat, bring your arms by your side. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. See if you can actually pause in front of your chest. So even if you came all the way up, come back down in front of your chest. Now reach your fingers forward, spread your shoulder blades, and then keep reaching up. Whoa, there's so much space in there. Hinge at the hips, hands come down. Right foot steps back, right knee comes down. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. We're getting really long in the side body here. Glute is on, strong, lifted. Hands come down, step back into plank. Lower the knees, lower all the way to the ground. The head of your arm bones stay lifted. Pull back your hands, inhale. Lift, plank, up into down dog. Right foot steps, left knee comes down. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Really spread those shoulder blades, reach it up in the side body, stay contained in the center. Hands come down, step the left foot to meet the right. Exhale, inhale, arms reach forward and up, along the spine. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands come down. Left foot steps back, left knee comes down. Toes can stay tucked. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Feel that length, that spreading of the shoulders. Hands come down, step back into plank. Lower your knees, lower all the way to the ground. The head of your arm bones stay lifted. Pull back your hands in cobra. Still feel that dialing out feeling with the left and right. Let them suction the scapula onto the back ribs. Tuck the toes, press and lift. Downward facing dog. Big breath in here. Big breath out. Step your left foot forward. Right knee comes down. We're in a 90-90 low lunge again. Arms reach forward and up. You can have the toes tucked or untucked, your choice. Spread those shoulder blades. Contain the low ribs. Notice when they want to pop on you. Hands come down. Step the right foot to meet the left. Exhale. Inhale. Arms reach forward and up. Exhale. Hinge at the hips. Hands come down. Fingertips or palms. Right foot steps back. Right knee comes down. Bring your shoulders over the chest in 90-90, or keep the arms down by our side. Make little fists with the hands, just enough that you feel a little pull down and a slight centering of this head of the arm bone, the humeral head in the shoulder socket. We're gonna roll our shoulders back one at a time. Go slow with it. Really take the time. Move the whole shoulder blade. So stay in this position. I'm just gonna come a little closer to the camera to show one of the finer points I've gotten in my teacher training. So stay in this position, keep rolling your shoulders back one at a time, but really try to focus on whether it's just glenohumeral joint moving, just that arm bone, and try and see if you can get the whole scapula on the back ribs going. And so we're going one at a time to really like lift this thing, scrub it out, move it on those back ribs and take it down and around. But so one of those finer points I really like pointing out, because it's one of those things that we don't always think about. And this area can be, again, a little bit of like a twilight zone area. It can be a little mysterious for us. All right, keep your arms down by your side, but slow your shoulder rolls down. Left hand comes to the right glute and a little fist. Reach your right arm up. Get really long in your right side body. It's the power and strength of the left glute, or sorry, the right glute that opens up that front right hip. Keep reaching, keep lifting. Hands come down. Left leg goes back, three-legged down dog. Left leg goes back, you're strong, powerful here. Bend the left knee, and have you circle the hip 3 times. Pull the left knee in, take it out, point it back, in and around. Out, point it back, bring it back in, around. Just move the leg bone. So take it the other way. Try not to move the structure of your pelvis at all, but really just move your leg in your hip socket. Left leg goes back. Now step the left foot forward again. As we land the right knee, we're gonna roll the right thigh out and bring the left arm to the left thigh. So you're in like a kneeling warrior 2 kind of position. Left leg is forward, right knee's underneath of us, right glute is on, left arm on the left thigh, and stroke the right arm in front of your chest, in front of your face, and reach it forward like this. This is a nice path for that scapula to follow. And from here, you can bend your right elbow, and we have this in our foundation class this week. Just keep like cranking up with the right elbow, and let the left forearm just be a little supportive here. You might even be able to lift it. It wouldn't even really matter much. But my point is the left side is held steady here. Left ear goes. Don't hold on to it. Let it go. Let the right side of the ear get long. We're going to get both legs. So this is a big move. We're windmilling to the back of the mat. Hands land, left foot is down, right leg goes up. And just like you did on the left leg, bend your right knee and pull it in, circle it out, point it back, and then bring it in and around again. And just focus on your leg bone, moving in that hip socket. Take it the other way as well. So go the second direction. And that might be noisier, that's fine. Now extend your right leg behind you, still pushing those hands, don't collapse your chest. So don't let your head sink below your arms. Step your right foot forward, lower your left knee down. Keep the arms by your side and rise up for 90-90 low lunge. You're at the back of the mat though. With little fists here, you're gonna help center those arm bones. Now roll them back one at a time. So we're scrubbing out a little bit of scapula mobility. Again, notice if it's small, then you'll probably just be moving the arms in the sockets, but like get that whole scapula up, even if you need to like let your hands come around every now and then and feel them on the back ribs, like, oh, wow. Oh my gosh, something can move back there? Oh yeah. So slow your shoulder rolls down. We're gonna bring our right hand onto our left glute and we'll bring our left arm up. So it's like a little lancer move. You're just reaching up at that left arm. You have that left glute on, opening up the left hip flexor. Ribs stay contained. So if we pop in the thorax and go into the low back, well, it's just that you're going where you can already go. You're not challenging yourself to adapt in any way. So hands come down, right foot goes up and back. You just did this. Bend the right knee and circle the hip. In, out, back, and around. In, out, back, and around. Already, I want you to notice if it feels a little smoother. That's that introduction to the synovial fluid. That's soft stuff that really helps it move. Okay, bring your right leg back, step your right foot forward, lower your left knee. And then when the left knee comes to the ground, if you have a really sticky mat, you're really gonna have to pick it up, but you roll that left thigh out, right forearm comes on top of the right thigh. So it's like warrior two facing the back of the mat, down on your left knee, the right foot forward. Right forearm's on the right thigh for support. Left arm sweeps in front of your torso, in front of your face, and towards the back of the mat. So as you're reaching over the left ear, so you just pause it and then keep it reaching forward instead of the backstroke, and then you'll bend your left elbow. Yeah, and then pull up. You're getting ahead of me. We're gonna go to a backstroke a little later. So we're pulling that left elbow up here, but it was very confusing because I said to the back of the mat, since we're facing the back of the mat, even though directionally it's forward. That's what we're doing here on purpose in these LYT classes. We're mixing it up neurologically. We don't want our brain to be able to go into any of its bad habits for posture, for movement. So it's all novel. Let your right ear really go. Woo. Squeeze that left glute. And then this is to the front of the mat. So you come up, it's a big windmill, up to the front, left leg goes up and back, three-legged down dog, pressing those hands, bend that left knee and circle the left hip, in, out, back, around, just moving the leg bone in the hip socket. It might be a lot smaller, switch directions than you think. Press your hands. So I know moving your leg is easy to forget about your hands, but keep that going. Left leg steps forward, right leg steps forward, fold forward at the top of the mat. Exhale, inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Go slow on this one. Step back, plank pose, lower the knees or lower all the way to the ground. Cobra, pull back the hands or reach your arms back in locust. Really lift your belly, root your tailbone. Hands come down, press, plank, into down dog. Big breath in here. Bend the knees, push through the toes, come to the top of the mat. You don't have to hop. You can just take a few steps. Come on up, inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Hands come down, step back, plank pose. Set the shoulder blades on the back ribs. Lower the knees or not, so just look like this. Pull back the hands for cobra, or reach your arms back in locust. Belly lifts up into the back line of the body. Excuse me. A lot of clearing out going on. Pushing the hands. Rise up. Down dog. Bend and straighten. Push. Bend and straighten. Push. You could try a little hop float or step to the top of the mat. Rise up. Spread your shoulder blades so you can even pause for a moment in front of your chest. Spread and then reach up. Hinge at the hips. Hands come down. Step back. Plank pose. Lower. Knees are not. Head of the arm bones. Pull it back. Press and lift. Down dog. From this down dog, take another big breath in. Come forward and plank. Lower your knees or lower all the way to the ground. Go post your arms. Bring your forehead down. With your forehead down, I want you to really focus on lifting your forearms off the ground. You're not going to lift your legs, and you don't even have to lift your forehead. It might stay down. You'll see me lift mine, but first off, don't look at me too when we start this. So just listen, because I want you to keep your gaze down and your neck long, but your forehead can stay on the ground. But if it naturally lifts with the lift of the chest, that's fine too. Just don't crane the neck by lifting the chin. But we'll all start off with the forehead down. Your arms are in a goalpost, so your elbows are right up at the shoulders. You'd be able to look over side to side and see them right there. Forearms are down, goalpost style, toes are tucked. We're not lifting the legs. Inhale. Lift your forearms, breathe into your back. As you exhale, pull the belly in, really root your tailbone even more. Yeah, it might naturally lift your chest, but you're not lifting your chin. Now from here, point your knuckles even more up to the ceiling and just activate some external rotators around that rotator cuff, around those deltoids. Oh, so many good things going on here. Holding steady, so this is why we keep the legs down to really work the upper body stability. All right, bring it down. Hands come in, shoulders up, tuck the toes, push up through plank, and then lift, down dog. So you should be feeling really set on those shoulders, really pushing those hands, spread those shoulder blades, get that length in the back. Step your left foot forward, rise up for warrior two. Lower that right heel down. So now we're in that full-on warrior two, left foot forward. One time here, flip the front palm, exhale, reverse. Get long in your left side body. Come forward for warrior variation. Forearm to thigh, right arm reaches over. 3 times here. Backstroke it, back, down, and around. Back, down, and around. So now we have it set. We'll get the mobility. This last time, reach your right arm just up to the ceiling, and then sweep it forward down in front of you and turn your left toes for side lunge to the right. Side lunge to the left and side lunge to the right. And then check here. Make sure the hips are moving back in space. Make sure that the core isn't collapsing, so we're not rounding our back. We're staying strong and steady. Shoulders back. Everything working here. Turn to the front. Hands land. Left leg steps back. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Come forward and plank. Lower the knees. Lower all the way to the ground. Head of the arm bones stay lifted. Goalpost. Forehead down. Remember, it can lift, but it doesn't have to. Root your tailbone. Inhale, fill up the back and lift the forearms. And as you exhale, pull your belly in more and root your tailbone. Maybe your glutes squeeze. Now, I'm gonna have you point your knuckles down and try and reach your elbows even more up. It's internal rotation. So don't lift the chin. Elbows are up higher than the fists. Getting different stabilizers in the rotator cuff. Woo, working it. And lower. Hands come in, push through plank, up into down dog. Really feel that length in your body. You wanna be able to press into those hands, get that elevation of the shoulders. Step your right foot forward, rise up for warrior two on the right leg. The left arm is back behind you, inhale. Flip your front palm and reach up for reverse warrior. Your right arm goes up and you stay supported in the left side. Now come forward, warrior variation. Forearm to thigh, we've sort of already done this on our knee, left arm up. And yep, now we get our backstroke. Back down and around. Back down, around. So keep stroking with the left arm. Push into that left foot. Really feel that left glute firm and hold you. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Now you're going to go the other way. You're going to reach it forward in front of your chest. Bring it down and turn to the left for side lunge to the left. Side lunge to the right. Side lunge to the left. Doing that a few times each way. Freeing up this space all around the hips. Really nice. Walk it back. Hands land. Right foot steps back. Walk the hands back to the feet. Happy squat. You can have the hands forward or bring them right underneath those shoulders, but get your ribs connected to your thighs and you're at the back of the mat. Push into those toes. You can even release the neck, but keep lifting your belly into your back line. Woo, so you don't let go of your core. And then from here, hands come up the shins, up the thighs, onto the hips. Wiggle the feet together. Load the left foot, bring the right knee up. Extend the right leg, land the toes, heels, left knee comes up. It's like a little crane stagger walk. Left foot forward, toe, heel, load it, right. One more, right, toe, heel, load it, left. And then just bring that left foot down. Bring that right foot up. Extend it back behind you, come into a high lunge. And then from here, we're going to load our left leg, bring that right knee up, step it back, high lunge. Load the left leg, bring the right knee up, step it back, high lunge. 3 more like that. We'll load and step back. We'll load and step back. 1 more, load it and step back. So strong in our center. Right arm reaches forward and right hand comes down. Fingertips inside the left foot, hand on the ground, or find a block. They're all good options, but the right hand's connected to the floor in some way, through the block or through the fingers or through the palm. Take your left hand onto your right shoulder head. Now push in your right hand. Hug your shoulder blade onto your back ribs for twisted crescent. Don't let your right arm sink forward. Notice if it wants to sink forward at all, you need to get more of that dialing out sensation into the hands. But no, if you actually dial your hand out, that's not going to do what we want it to do. That's just positionally moving the joint. I need you to energetically get that external rotation happening. Then the left arm can come up. You can even release the right ear. Whoo! Building up a lot of rotator cuff awareness in this class. I'm working a little balance and lengthening the sides. Left hand comes down. Right hand, if it's on a block, removes. Step that left foot back. Walk it back into your happy squat. Again, your fingertips can be forward. Do your best to connect your ribs and the top of your legs. You can release your neck, but you're going to protect and lengthen your back more if you hold your core and lift it up into your back line. Walk it all the way back. Hands rise up the shins, the thighs, stay along the spine. Hands come by your side and onto each side of the pelvis. Go ahead and load your left leg. The right knee comes up. Extend that right leg forward. You'll go toe, heel, load it. Left leg, extend it forward. Little toe, heel, load it. Right leg extends forward. Little extend, toe, heel, left leg comes up. So we'll hold this here, extend it back, high lunge, keep your hands on either side of the pelvis. So when you load that right leg, you're ready to keep it steady. And I want you to notice if your pelvis tips at all for you. So what we don't want is to get this dump out, this dump into the low back. We want to keep it really neutral, set. You're practicing hip flexion, hip extension in both legs, flexing here, extending here, flexing here, extending here. Right flexes, left extends, left flexes, right extends. So a little cross neural firing. Really nice. Last time, step that left foot back, left hand comes forward, plug your arm into your shoulder socket, bring your left arm down inside your right foot. So you can have your hand down, you can be up on the fingertips. I personally like a block on the lowest height under my hand. It's what works for me. Left toe presses, bring your right hand onto your left shoulder socket, pushing out left hand, and hug your left shoulder blade on your back ribs. So this is my lazy one. This is the one that's always like, nah, it'll be fine. It hasn't been fine. Pushing my left hand, hold my left shoulder blade. It's harder, but it's so much more engaged, so much more balanced. And it's relieved so much on the right side for me that's been doing so much more work for years. So this will be a little bit different. Bring the right hand down, left hand forward, up to the top of the mat, and rise on up. Stand tall, grab a little sip of water, and we'll put these two sequences together. Again, always keep it at the level that feels good. If we're ever asking you to do any moves that don't quite feel right, everybody's got a different story with their bodies and everything. We can work through it. There may even be a modification that is pretty outside, the realm of what we would normally do in class, but could work perfect for you. So just know that all this movement is just feeling things out, being a scientist, exploring how we feel in this moment, in this experience. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't always have to listen to the information that you're being given. I will say most of the information we're going over in this class is pretty good, but again, everybody's different. So if you're having a different experience, let's talk about it and we will find that solution. All right, bring your arms by your side though. We'll inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Starts off the same way. Right foot back, right knee down. Bring your arms by your side, make little fists, and roll those shoulders back one at a time. So stick with the arms by your side, or if you want a little more and it feels okay, you can bring each hand onto each top of the arm bone. So you're right there in the deltoid, right where that arm is plugging into the shoulder socket. It's shortening the lever, but creating a little bit more facilitation. And keep the right glute working. I just felt my right glute turn off because I immediately felt my legs sink into my block. It's one of the helpful things about that block under the knee. I felt myself sink down into it. It's like, nope, lift it up. A little more forgiving than the floor. But if you have that glute active, you don't have to worry about it. All right, everybody, one more shoulder roll each. Arms by your side, left hand onto the right glute. Reach that right arm up. Stay reaching up or add a tiny twist to the left. You do that by plugging that left shoulder blade onto the back ribs here. And you stay uplifted. Don't dump into your low back at all. Woo! Right away, we're gonna bring our left forearm to our left thigh, land the right heel, and open up for warrior variation. So right away, we're going here with the left foot forward, the right foot down, left knee is bent, left forearm on the left thigh. And now bend the right elbow, lifting it up towards the ceiling, pushing into that right foot. You should feel a huge expansion from right shoulder all the way down to the right heel. Let the left ear go. You can let the gaze fall down, let the neck be long. Rise up for warrior two. Right hand over heart, left arm reaches up. Exhale, use the exhale to pull the front body in and get really long in your left side body. Woo! Big windmill all the way to the front. Land the hands, left leg goes up and back. Bend the left knee, pull the left leg in, circle the hip. 3 times in one direction, and then 3 times the other direction. Don't forget about your hands. Keep lifting up, shoulders towards the ears. Extend the left leg back. Step your left, land your left foot next to your right. Oh, come forward into plank. You can lower your knees or lower all the way to the ground. Head of the arm bones stay lifted. From here, reach the arms forward like a Y. They're out and they're forward and they're a little bit wider than your shoulders. Forehead is down. Tuck the toes. Inhale, reach up. Ooh, fingers are up. Again, your forehead can stay down. That's pretty hard already. If it lifts, but it's just coming along for the ride. No lift of the chin. Shoulder blades are squeezing together. Really squeeze them. Get them working. I care more about them than your head lifting. Root your tailbone. One more breath. Oh, come down. Arms down by your side. Press up into your down dog. Hoist that pelvis high. Now step your left foot forward. Rise up for warrior two again. One time here, now we're reversing it. Reverse. Left arm reaches up. Come back through warrior two. Forearm to thigh. Right arm reaches over. Now get 3 strokes. 3. Back, up, around. 2, and 1. Right arm comes up and then goes the other way, sweeps down in front of the body, turn to the right, side lunge and side lunge. Just taking a few side lunges here. Your hands can come further down your legs. But again, the three main checkpoints I want you to always work with here. Hips are moving back, not forward. So if your knees are going in front of your toes, your legs are moving the wrong way. Move them back. Hold the core in. So rounding the back is usually a sign that your core is disengaged. Keep it long. And then keep the shoulder heads back. So notice when they want to sink in on you. All right, walk to the front of the mat. You're gonna rise, or sorry, step the left foot back. Sorry, hands are down, left foot steps back. You're in down dog, almost forgot where I was going. Walk it back, happy squat. Well, happy squat here. Hands come up the legs. Rise all the way up. Hands come to either side of the pelvis. We're gonna go ahead, load that right leg, bring that left knee up, extend the left leg forward, land the left toes, heel, right knee comes up. Right toes go forward, toe, heel, left leg comes up. One more, left leg goes forward, toe, heel, left leg goes up. Holding strong, we're gonna step the left foot back, high lunge, and then load that left leg. Step the right foot back, load the left. Step the right foot back, high lunge, load the left, single leg balance. You can even make it a little bit more plyometric, pushing off the toe. But we don't get over excited about it. We don't lose the form. We stay centrated, centered in the joints, centered in the body, just to begin with, so that you have the ability to move forward, woo, move back, even side to side. We won't actually do that, but you get it. We're centered so that we can move in any direction. All right, no more hops. Load the left leg, bring the right knee up. You can grab the left knee and open up to the right for a little standing twist. You can also stay looking forward, both great options. And then twisted crescents where we're going. So right foot back, right hand down, inside that left foot. Get wide. You want like a 2 feet of space in between your foot and your hand. Now you can either keep the left hand on the right shoulder as you twist open, or you can reach that left arm up. You can even turn the toes out a little bit. So if you like that turn of the toes to the side, I warn that requires a lot of scapular stability, and you got to really be ready to lift your right hip away from the floor. Ooh. And then right knee comes behind left ankle. Come to seated spiral. So you're sitting with your legs crossed. Left ankle's over the right. You can kick the right leg forward. From here, roll your shoulders. We're back to a shoulder roll, but we're centrated in the shoulder socket and we're moving the scapula. Scapula is amazing. We talk about it a lot, but it's a joint that requires stability and mobility. It needs to be able to do both for us. Its jobs require both. All right, unwind to top of the mat and step your right foot to meet your left. You'll come back up to top, arms by your side. Just like we started, when you reach up, pause in front of your chest, reach your shoulder blades even further forward, and then reach up. Whoa, feel that space cleared, right? Hands come down. You can always do that. Left foot steps back, left knee comes down. Inhale, arms reach forward and up, and then bring them down by your side. Fist and roll one at a time. So one shoulder blade at a time. You could also grab the glenohumeral joints as a way to add on. Scrubbing it out here. And then we'll slow our shoulder rolls down. Arms come back down by your side. Right hand stays on the left glute. Left arm reaches up. Left glute is on. You can even take your right hand and grab underneath your cheek. Take a little twist to the right. As you're twisting to the right, should create this lovely opening for iliopsoas on the left side, that hip flexor getting a little extension, firm on the ground. And then right away, we're going to come to our warrior variation. Right forearm on right thigh, left heel lands on the ground. Left arm sweeps over, forward, up, and around. Then bring that left arm to bend and release your right ear. Right ear is getting long, strong in that right side. Left side of the neck is just released. Now rise up into reverse, reach that right arm up. Use the exhale to get long through that side. Come back up and throw, and windmill the hands down. Right leg goes up and back. Circle the hip, right knee bends, in, out, around. In, out, around, in, out, and around. Other way, in, out, and around. Out, in, and around. Other way, right? Extend that right leg back. Land your right foot down, and then come forward in a plank. Lower all the way to the ground. Head of the arm bone, stay lifted. This time, we're gonna bring our arms wide. Come onto your fingertips and point your elbows up. So it's a wide cobra. Forehead is down, toes can tuck. Inhale, lift your palms, push into your fingertips and pull back with your fingertips. They don't really move, but you're feeling your shoulder blades suction together and down towards those hips. Like you're trying to tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets. One more breath. Expansive for the chest. Engaging for the core. Come down. Hands land. Press up and in to down dog. Step your right foot forward. So now we come up to that warrior two and we reverse it. Right arm reaches up. Come forward. Warrior two, right forearm to right thigh. Left arm goes and circles back, down, and around. Back, down, and around. Back, down, and around. Now reach it up. Take it the other way, forward, across your body. Side lunge to the left, side lunge to the right. Just a few of these. To just awaken everything. Get into those hips. One last check-in. Your hips are moving back. Your core is on, so lift front body into back body and pull those shoulder heads back. Really good. Now turn to the front of the mat. From that front of the mat, hands are going to land. Step that right foot back again to meet the left. Walk the hands back for happy squat. If it feels okay, you can even gently take your hands to the back of your skull, not pulling or anything, but just resting your palms there and bringing your elbows in together. Can give a nice gravitational tug on the lower condyle of the neck, the skull. One more big breath into your back. Your core is still on. You don't let your core go to Shavasana ever. Hands come up the shins. And so your core is not on like 100% all the time, but it's at least got like a 10% activation. Shoulders come back. Not until we're watching Netflix on the couch. Load the left leg, bring the right knee up, hands down the hips. Here's our little crane walk. Right toes forward, land the heel, load the right leg. Left knee, toes forward, land the heel. Right knee, let's our last one, toes forward, land the heel, left knee comes up. So you step back with the left foot, high lunge kinda, and then up. It's even shorter than a high lunge, honestly. You could start to load it and do what we call in LYT a ball change. So you're changing from the ball, the back foot, ball, the front foot, loading it, hop. Ball change, load, hop. Ball change, load, hop. It's not even so much about getting that hop as it is just about staying engaged, staying strong, firing up in that glute, making sure everything's ready to go. Ball change, little hop. Ball change, little hop. Ball change, little hop. Last 3, 2, this last one, don't hop. Load the right leg, bring the left knee up. So stay looking forward. You could do hands in at heart center, or you could grab the right knee and open up to the left. Now unwind, twist the other way. Left leg goes back, left hand comes down, twisted crescent. Block or not, right side opens up. You could take your right hand onto your left shoulder head and keep it there. But wherever you are, I encourage you to release your left ear, to look down at the ground and let your neck go. Hold your shoulder blade of the left side steady on the back left by pressing into that left hand and not pushing your shoulder head forward, but pulling your shoulder blade back onto the back ribs. Oh, again, you can turn your toes out. So if you really like the toe turn out, do that and reach the right arm overhead to the front. But lift the left side of the hip up. Oh, big adjustment for my neck, nice. Because I let it go. Bring that left knee behind the right ankle, seated spiral. So you can always kick this bottom leg out. We're gonna circle back with the shoulders a few times. You find something that's comfortable and roll them. So your shoulder rolls down, shimmy out a bit. We're gonna unwind and come to quadruped for cat-cow. Pull forward, broaden the chest, push into the hands, spread your shoulder blades. Pull forward, push your hands and spread your shoulder blades. Push into your hands and spread your shoulder blades. Come through center and we'll circle our rib cage a few times. It's pretty similar, but you're just circling your ribs around. Trying to keep the elbows straight. So now it's more like we're moving our body around our scapula and our arms. And then switch directions. And you'll come back through and come onto your back for that final Shavasana. Lay down. You can keep the feet walked in or let the legs go long. And now let the core go and breathe. Find something that's comfortable for you to have for the last couple breaths of retuning, resetting, reorganizing. And know that in your Shavasana, you're not beholden to the position you started off with, but if eventually some things let go and you're able to release even more, go there. Of course, you're welcome to stay in Shavasana for longer. If you're ready, inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Stretching all the way through. Pulling the knees in, one at a time. A little rock, side to side. Make your way over to one side. And bring yourself up to comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you. Shoulders back, take a breath in, breathe it out. Just feeling this connection to yourself, this retuning and this lengthening, this freedom that comes to the sides when we centrate, get centered positionally, we get centered energetically, and when we get centered emotionally. You can bring the hands together, feeling that centered connection to yourself, acknowledging it and bowing to it. And so the light in me honors the light that shines inside of you. And I bow to that light that is tying us all together as one. And so have a great day and enjoy.